5:30. I'll call this meeting of the Oswego Public Library District Board of Trustees to order. And Jim, can you have a roll call, please?
Conan here. Deal.
Here.
Freeman.
Here.
Margaret. Ramirez. Hamlin.
Here.
Walters.
Here. Emily will not be here this evening. She's attending an 8th grade graduation for her stepdaughter in Florida, so she will not be here this evening. Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to our reorganization meeting. It happens every 2 years after elections. The mission of the Oswego Public Library District exists to provide quality library service which will effectively meet the informational, educational, recreational needs of district residents of all ages, with a special emphasis on supplying popular materials, providing reference services, and assisting students of all ages in meeting their educational needs. First thing on our agenda is approval of minutes. Could I
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular session, April 23rd, 2025.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay, take a look at it. Any questions, comments? Hearing none. Jim, roll call, please.
Walters.
Yes.
Conan, yes. Deal.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Hamlin.
Yes. Correspondence.
We have some comment cards I'll pass around. We have a request for later hours/times for more people coming for studying. Just based on how it's written, I'm pretty sure it's like a middle school or high school student who is looking for longer hours, maybe during finals. We have a request for Tony's, which we've had many requests for this. They have been ordered. They're just waiting to be cataloged. We are going to be getting the Tony's. So that is something we are doing.
The
Yeah.
Tonys.
Yeah, it's like a little box, and there'd be like a little figurine of Ariel, and you put her on the box, and she reads you stories and sings you songs. And you can switch out the character, and it'll read all different stories and songs.
Okay.
But they are quite expensive, so I think that's why people are looking for them at the library. We have a suggestion to have a baby section with baby books, and then it says, P.S. I don't know if you already have this, but it would make babies happy. And then I like your books. I think that might also be from a child. A request for a books drop outside Oswego, a drive-up book drop. And then a request for a series called Dungeon Crawler, which is a type of lit RPG, which I'm not actually very familiar with, so.
Role-play game.
Yeah, so we're looking for some new books on that. And that is all the correspondence.
Okay. Moving on to financials. Anything we should know?
Financial start on page 9. We are pretty much almost at the end of our fiscal year, and everything is really in line with where we would expect to be at this time of the year. We've got all of our income, and our bills are all kind of right where they should be.
See where taxes are due before. So
We've gotten early tax money from Kane and Wells so far. We have about $44,000.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I have a motion on number 7, the financials?
I make a motion, where are we, 7?
Yes.
Sorry. I make a motion for the approval of fund balance and revenue and expense reports for April
you. Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, Jim?
Deal,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamblin,
Yes.
Wallers,
Yes.
Conan, abstain.
Okay, accounts payable.
Starts on page 19. For our bills, the very first one for Advantage Archives, this is actually a check reissue. We had paid them like $30,000, and then we increased the services we wanted for the newspaper archiving. And so this is a new check. The old one was canceled, and this is a new check to pay for that. That is, let's see, page 20. Terrace Computer Systems, that's a annual fee for our accounting software. Page 21, you'll see there are 4 checks to the King County Treasurer. These are taxes for our 2 properties on River Street, which now that they are no longer occupied, we can get moved to the tax-free rolls, hopefully. But we did have to make those payments on those 2.
I have a question
Yes,
about that.
yes.
One was occupied, one was never occupied. The one that was occupied, we never collected a dime on.
Mhm.
So is that technically a rental property?
Yeah, even if they're stable on it and there. I can ask King County. It doesn't hurt. I can always refund us.
It's not a lot, but it was my lunch.
I will absolutely ask them, no problem with that. Do that with our people, you agree?
Well, technically, we don't have to pay taxes on it unless we are gaining something from it, I believe. I'm not sure how the law reads.
I can't, yeah. It's the lawyer.
Okay? Sorry.
Page 22, there was a survey by Nolan and Lido. That is a survey that was done on the 2 properties on River Street that we had to have done prior to demo. And I think that is it as far as any unusual bills that we would normally see, unless anyone has questions.
Does that invite nature into your yard? The Conservation Foundation, is that an upcoming or already had?
It's already
Did it already happen?
Yeah, that one already happened. It was very successful.
Was it?
Yes. That was a group, I think it was suggested by some of our
Oh. Okay.
like I say, some of our patrons. You're right, garden club.
I discovered something, Scott Johnson, at our Forest Foundation meetings, put me on to eBird, Merlin Bird ID.
Oh.
And if you click on that in your backyard, and you go to the birds, and it listens to the birds in your backyard and tells you what they are.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I had a black-billed cuckoo, a house sparrow, American robin, and a northern cardinal earlier today. Who knew? It's really kind of cool. And then you can post it, special ones you can post. Don't put your address down, I put the church's address down. So everybody doesn't show up in my backyard looking for a cuckoo. Okay, any questions or comments? Could I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the May 2025 bills in the amount of $421,197.
Good.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any last questions? Roll call, please.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamblin,
Yes.
Wallers,
Yes.
Conan, abstain, Deal.
Yes.
Okay, Director, Assistant Director's Report.
I gave you guys a color copy because when we made copies, the print in the packet got super dark to be almost unreadable. The director's reports, so we have a few things of note. The chronologues, I'm gonna pull those up. They have been installed, I think we showed you guys, it's like a post where you can put your phone on it and it takes pictures, and then over time people take pictures and it makes almost like a still life movie. They've been installed so far at the Oswego campus, right kind of over by the Veterans Memorial Park. And then here at Montgomery, it's out along the way to the trail, kind of where the star chart is that was put in a few years ago. And I can say that. We do have someone who is using it as a selfie thing though, so there are a few selfies mixed in with our chronologue. As far as numbers go, our checkouts are, we are up from last year quite a bit and kind of following the same curve as we usually follow in a typical year. It goes up a little bit, it slows down a little bit due to Easter and spring break, and then we'll see a big boost as we get into summer. On the back side of that, there's a picture there of the River Street properties. One is taken from the same spot, one is going to be pre-demo and one is post-demo. So it looks really different from what you had seen before.
In the online stats for e-titles available, is that supposed to be 2 million?
Yes, it was supposed to be a comma, not a period. Any questions?
Questions for our assistant director? If not, could I have a motion to approve the assistant director's report?
Move to approve the report.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Walders,
Yes.
Conan, yes. Deal,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamblin.
Yes. We have no committee reports tonight. Do we need any committee meetings?
I don't think so.
Not at this time. All right. Moving on, unfinished business. Logan is here, and for this mom and dad, and we're going to revisit our flag, used flag, old flag disposal containers. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, any updates from you, or?
We're still finalizing like all the details and stuff, and then after that, we're gonna contact the Chippewa district for further approval. And from there, we can start looking at fundraising and actually putting the project to fruition.
Very good. Does anyone have any thoughts or ideas? I know there were a couple of things floating around of suggestions. Chris?
Yeah, I think some of the things that maybe if you want to discuss would be how you want it painted, if you want it to be real vibrant, if you want it to be real muted paint or natural wood. I personally would like to see it on wheels, just because we tend to have to move stuff around fairly frequently. And then the type of slot, if you wanted a hinge lid or a mail slot.
Somebody, you suggested about the slot.
Yeah, I thought that slot, though, people might think to put books there.
Yeah.
If you had a hinge, it might be easier that you lift it up and you'll see there's flags there, and then you won't get a bunch of books in there.
I think painted would stand out more.
Mhm.
And there's some great paint jobs on some of these, I'm not sure.
We don't want to put that much pressure on it.
So, anything else? I think they all look great,
Mhm.
and we still like the idea. So, I think that's the feedback we would give you. As you're doing the fundraising, keep us posted, okay? And we'll go from there. I think we have a motion. We have a motion regarding that, if anyone would like to make that.
I motion,
Oh, go ahead. You do it. You do it.
I motion we approve the Eagle Scout project to build flag retirement boxes for the library.
Second.
Very good. Any other comments or questions? If not, roll call, please.
Deal,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamblin?
Yes,
Wallers?
Yes.
Conan? Yes.
very good. You're in business.
Good to go.
Now the work starts. Thank you, Logan. Okay. Purchasing policy.
Page 32 is the, for the updated purchasing policy. It was an update of the update we did, because after talking to our facilities manager, he just felt like it wasn't gonna be feasible to get bids on projects like even at $1,000. He has a hard time getting bids over for projects that are like $7,000. So we wanted to reword this to make it more usable and realistic as far as how we do things.
So basically, it was an adjustment of the dollar amounts.
Yes, and that we would try to get bids, but you know, if we can only get 2 people to come out and give us a quote, we don't have to do like an official bid thing for smaller items, but the original one said that we would take bids on anything over $1,000, which just, we can't get people in for that small amount to even give prices, so.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I just wonder maybe we don't need to raise that even higher, because it is difficult to get bids on things, so I wouldn't be opposed to moving that to 10,000, but just a thought, so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Any thoughts, ladies?
I mean, it's definitely easier for him to get stuff done if he has less restrictions like that.
Okay. Does anybody have any objections if we make that adjustment? Terry? Mr. Finance?
Everything's good?
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts or comments? If not, we have a motion to approve with that adjustment. So that's 11B1
I move we approve the new purchasing policy.
with the adjustment from $5,000 to $10,000.
Correct.
I second that.
Thank you. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Friedman?
Yes.
Hamblin?
Yes,
Wallers?
Yes.
Conan? Yes. Deal?
Yes.
thank you. 11C1. C, the Sarah Mobile.
Finally.
Okay, Sarah, why don't you tell us about your mobile here?
I actually have Bill Thurston, he's the head of outreach this year. And you were gonna give us a little bit of a rundown on what you might use it for, a little bit about outreach.
Yeah. So I'm Bill Thurston, the head of outreach here. I started in the outreach position in January of last year, and then full-time in April. In between those 2 months, I was doing outreach and young adult services. So just a little bit over a year of outreach of specifically doing that. So some of the stuff I've been doing so far, it's like Prairie Fest, Montgomery Fest. We're talking about 1,000+ people at each of those events over the several days. Something I've done in cooperation with Circulation is we can now do remote library card sign up. So if I'm out at an event and I've got my laptop, I can sign people up if they've got their ID cards and whatnot there. So it's, you run into people like, oh, I've been meaning to get it in the library and I just don't have time. It's like, well, we can do your card now. And they're like, oh, really? Okay, cool. So I think that's been a really great, example of what else we would use something like that for. Participation and cooperation with the school district. I've been going to like HSA PTO events, after school activities, all sorts of stuff that where we had, we're expanding our library footprint, so to say, of people seeing you. Like I get commonly, I'll walk into the library and somebody I don't really work with very often, like, oh, you're the library guy. So it's like that. They're starting to somebody from the library is at all these events all the time. It's just kind of like this repetition. It's been great. Local chamber meetings, both Oswego and Montgomery, and Downtown Business Association. I've been doing a lot more events with them. The cookie walk, the chocolate walk, all the downtown Oswego stuff is bringing people in. Networking with the local county, that's where the chronologue came from. the Park District, villages of Oswego, Montgomery, all sorts of that stuff. A couple of like ongoing projects that would really benefit from a bookmobile is I'm doing senior living visits. Right now, just the two. I'm going to the Tillers, which is assisted living. Those residents are only there and they don't really ever leave unless someone picks them up. And then Diamond's Senior Living, which is an apartment building off of Orchard there. It's actually two big buildings, and they kind of come and go as they please. So it's two totally different options, but the Tillers just recently lost their own in-building library. So when I show up once a month, there's like 4 or 5 people that are like ready to go, and they check out books, and I'm waiting to hear back on another patron or resident there that is interested in becoming a patron as well. So I keep stats on like how many books we're checking out to them. So right now I kind of load up my own vehicle, so it's back and forth or lifting a cart up and down. So a vehicle will just kind of help with that as far as I can leave it loaded and I can hit more expand services to all the other senior living residences in the area, and also offers summer school pop-ups. So there's one junior high that does one pop-up over the summer, and we go to with a tent and everything. But me showing up with my old minivan outside the school versus an official library vehicle just kind of gives a different impression, I think. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's mainly kind of like what I'm interested in getting a library vehicle for. There's a lot more of these outdoor events I do away from the library and having it look more official and just easing, I can take more of the collection with me rather than having to load up boxes of books to drag them out to my car. They're kind of either already on the vehicle or there's carts and that sort of thing. So it's kind of my support for it as outreach manager. Thank you.
Your license for the three-wheel bicycle, or your license for this?
The Sprinter van that we're kind of looking at doesn't need any sort of special licensing outside of a driver's license.
Any comments or questions? Funding, are we going to pay for this?
This would come out of the special reserve, it would be paid for by some of the fees we're getting from developers, pay for it pretty much, and that would be what we would use for it, and it would be providing services from the library throughout our community, so that would fall within what the use of development fees are.
And there's more than enough money in there to pay for it.
Absolutely, yes.
I think it's a great idea. I love it. I think we should budget for some either special graphics or painting of the vehicle so that it's distinct and unique and colorful. Represents the library, so people, when they see it, they know it's coming. So I would add that to your budget, if that's all right with other folks.
I'm okay with this if the library director is okay with that.
I think you know my vote on that. I am so okay with this.
This is really good stuff.
This is wonderful.
How would a person representing the library dress driving this van?
I dress business casual like this, or wear library t-shirts, kind of depending on the weather. Like for Prairie Fest, outdoor hot events, I'm probably just gonna wear a t-shirt with library information on it. Cooler weather, this, or like a, jean jacket or a fleece sweater, that sort of thing, so.
I'm just thinking about what Mr. Library should look like.
I do know we have, we can order like the fleeces that say.
Heavy winter coats with the library.
It should be official.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. We have a motion in the agenda. Who would like to do this? Sarah can't.
I will do it. I make a motion for the approval of the outreach vehicle for an amount not to exceed $210,000.
I'll second it big time.
Can I just ask that we don't cap it at 210 until we know what the paint?
Yeah, probably.
We need to add that in.
So I'm fine if we come back and.
I think it already was added, is that?
For a full wrap.
For a full wrap.
Oh,
It's already in?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then bouncing back to at one of the chamber meetings, I met a company that's out of Hinckley that does vehicle wraps, so we have a local entity that could rewrap it if down the road it starts to degrade or we want something different. It's what we have isn't working. They're pretty local. So far, they've given us some reasonable prices on other projects, so.
Okay. Gotta make it look cool. If anyone in the audience thinks we're giving Sarah a bad time about this, it's because she's been asking for one of these for several years. So this is not new. Okay. We're ready to vote, Jim?
Deal.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Wallers.
Yep.
Conan, yes.
Very good. Very good.
Are you okay? 25 years.
You want to take a moment?
Thank
Can't wait to see it.
Okay, moving on, 11D, staff salaries.
That would be page 37 to page 40, and the key thing would be to vote on what percentage of a increase in salary you guys would like to do this year. Page 40 has kind of the key information as far as breakdowns, as far as what a 3% or 4% raise would be compared to our current one, and how it falls into the budget.
We had a recommendation from finance, did we not?
We did, both personnel and finance met.
I thought it was 4%.
It was 4%.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I thought that's what it was. Okay. Then we have a motion, 11D1.
Make a motion to approve salary increase for staff in the amount of 4%.
I'll second that.
Any other comments or questions? If not, roll call, please.
Wallers.
Yes.
Conan, abstain. Deal.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes. Good. Moving on to our working budget for fiscal year 2026.
Page 41 and 42. 41 is our estimated expenditures, and page 42 is our estimated income. We did have this on the agenda last month, where we kind of talked about how we had zeroed out some of our income with the closure of the federal library branch, as far as that goes. And so we are estimating zero, although we may not be zero, but we're going to estimate as low as we can. And so we did knock down a few budget items. We discussed those at the last meeting. It's primarily going to be furniture and staff training, with a few cuts to IT and outreach and communications as well. But we would be within budget with this proposed budget.
If we have an opportunity to add any of that back in, I would suggest staff training be maintained. Okay. Could I have a motion on 11E1, please?
Making a motion for the approval of the working budget for the fiscal year 2026.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? And then this comes back to us, it's a working budget until September.
This is how we start July 1st,
Right.
and then we start the levy process in August, which would be the B&A, but that's for the following fiscal year.
Okay.
So for 2026, 2027.
All right, roll call, please.
Deal.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Wallers.
Yes.
Conan, yes.
Okay. Moving on to new business. We do have a member of the board retiring this evening. James Martyr has been a member of the library District Board from May 2021 to May 2025. And he is moving off the board at this time. And we want to thank Jim for his service. Sorry he wasn't here tonight, that we could say that to him. So, moving on, 12B is adjournment sine die, which means adjournment without day, or the final adjournment that takes effect when we dissolve an outgoing library board. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn sine die.
So we'll
Thank you. Second? Second. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Wallers,
yes.
Conan, yes. Deal,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamlin.
Yes. Now we will go about the seating of our new board. I would request a motion that we move to appoint trustee Friedman, be appointed president pro tem, and trustee Christine Deal be appointed secretary pro tem in order to conduct the installation of our trustees and the election of our officers. Could I have that motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second? Thank you. Roll call, please, Jim.
Wallers,
Yes.
Conan, yes. Deal,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Hamlin.
Yes. You're in charge, sir.
I have to do it.
You wait.
Okay. Item 12A, installation of trustees.
Right.
And we will need a motion to install trustee Jim Commons, Luann Harkins, Terry Hamlin, and Pete Wallers.
Oh,
I have,
Continue. we should rise.
Everybody have a copy? Supposed to say the oath, and are you supposed to raise your right hand? You have to if you want to. Is somebody going to take a picture?
Yes.
We'll get together. We'll get together. We'll get together. Yep.
And you're supposed to say aye and then your name.
I, Terry Wallers, having been elected to the office of library trustee in the township of Oswego and the county of Kendall, aforesaid, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of library trustee of the Oswego Public Library District to the best of my ability.
I have here the official certificates of election. And what it says is, it says, to all whom it may concern, I, Debbie Gillette, election authority for the county of Kendall, do hereby certify that a consolidated general election was held on April 1st, 2025. And then it gives each person's name, and I'll come around with this. Terry Hamlin, in my neighborhood, if we say house.
Thank you.
Peter Wallers,
Thanks, sir.
Mazel Tov, sir. James Connon, Mazel Tov, partner. Here's your certificate. And Luann Parker. Mazel Tov, Luann. There you go. The oath of office having been given, we hereby call to order the meeting of the new Oswego Library Board.
Luann?
Here.
Jim?
Here.
Terry?
Here.
And Pete?
Yes.
Here.
And Christie? Here.
Next item on our agenda, we have to have election of our new board officers. The first one being nominations from the floor for our new board president.
I would nominate Gary Cameron.
And I certainly will second that nomination. Anybody have any discussion? I suppose we have to vote.
Sure.
If there's no discussion, call for the vote.
Cannon?
Yes.
Deal? Yes. Friedman?
Yes.
Tamblin? And Wallers?
Yes.
Don't forget.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, that's all right.
Our newest member.
Yes, yes.
Okay, at that point in time, I think that can happen. Okay, moving on for election of vice president. Do we have any nominations from the floor, please?
Chair, I'd like to move that Pete Walters be appointed vice president.
You good?
Second that.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, I would suggest to close the vote and Pete be named vice president. Okay? Do a roll call anyway.
Deal?
Oh,
Yes.
you're not in yet. You are.
Friedman?
Yes.
Tamblin?
Yes.
Wallers?
I'll abstain.
And Hampkins?
Thank you.
I'd like to vote yes.
What's that?
I'll vote yes as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I need a better list.
You wouldn't believe how much time we spent trying to get this to work. It's been different every time we've done it, I think. So at this point in time, are there any nominations for treasurer of the board? I would nominate Terry Friedman.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none, could we have a roll call, please?
Hampkins?
Yes.
Sorry.
Hartman.
Harkins?
That's
Oh,
all
I'm
right.
sorry. Harkins, I can't read either.
That was yes.
Cannon?
Yes.
Friedman?
Have to abstain or.
Tamblin?
Yes.
Yes.
Wallers? Deal? Yes.
Okay. Final action, could I have nominations for secretary?
I would nominate Jim Conlon. Trustee Conlon.
Jim, thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Hearing none. Christine?
Harkins?
Yes.
Deal? Yes. Friedman?
Yes.
Tamblin?
Yes.
Wallers?
Yes.
Cannon?
Abstain.
Very good. Okay, moving on. Jim, you're back secretary. Christine, you're
Okay,
moving on to 12H, our auditor annual audit for FY 2024. You're recommending we stay with Weber and Associates?
Yes.
Very good. Could I have a motion, please? 12H1.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the audit with Webster, or Weber and Associates for $14,850.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Deal?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Harkins?
Yes.
Hamlin?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Common? Yes.
Very good. Aye.
No, it's fine. I've already tested this.
The last meeting, you had not seen it, so we thought we would just put it on here and kind of go over some of the different stuff. So with this design, the goal was to be able to access information always within 2 to 3 clicks instead of having to kind of dig down in different sections. So anytime you hover over here, there's always a big section for our most frequently requested item in the topic. Like for borrowing, it's always how do I get my card? This is going to have information about all the different types of things you can check out, including things like museum passes, streaming services. Readers' resources, our recommended reading list. If I click on one, it should go to curated section, and our staff can choose what's on there. Let's see, and then can't find it. This is going to be suggest a purchase, and then interlibrary loans where you can get things from other libraries. We have an events section. This is the if you click on this, you'll go to our calendar of events. You can search events by age group and then by type. So if you're only interested in gaming programs, you can limit it to these search terms. For research, this is going to be like all of our resources that we have available. So this is going to be mostly like our different databases and newspaper collections. There's topics like genealogy, homework help, newspapers, consumer information, and you can also limit by age. So if you have a child or a teen who's trying to do a research paper, you're not getting something aimed at a college level student or an adult. Services, we have reserve a room. That is probably our most requested service. You also can now reserve study rooms. I don't know if you are aware of that, but now that we have study rooms at both buildings, you can reserve a study room as long as you have a valid Oswego Public Library card. If you are a reciprocal borrower or don't have a card, you can come in the day of, but you can't reserve in advance. So we just started implementing the reserve a room maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It's a relatively new thing, but I think it really benefits our patrons who before had trouble getting rooms because we have people from Aurora in the room. So it kind of prioritizes our own residents. Other services you can limit by person, like child, educator, local authors, local artists. We do have a art display where artists can submit, and we always have a display up at Montgomery, and we've just started putting some art at Oswego now too. Other services, wireless printing, different community resources. This is going to be things like food pantry information or other local services, voter information, and then a tab on outreach if you wanted us to come out. And then the About Us, there's a Contact Us. This is going to be like history of the library, which if you have not read before, it's actually pretty interesting. Some of the historic pictures, believe it or not, that is the Oswego campus, which is hard to believe considering the size of it now. And then we have also Board of Trustees information, hours, our policies are on the website. So on the Board of Trustees, all of the meetings are going to be listed over here. And then it lists the board members, and our agendas are down here, and also a contact button for contacting the board.
Can you hit that? Can you click that so I can see that?
Which one?
The comments.
So over here, this is the general comment, and you can select who you're trying to contact.
Okay, thank you.
And then up here, there's always a search bar, so that's always visible. Anything anybody wants to look at?
Is the limit for reserving rooms still an hour when you do it online?
It's now 2 hours, if you have it, yeah. So, and I asked adult services, they said they have not really had a lot of complaints about it. There's certainly some residents from not our district who preferred it before when they had the priority, but it seems like it's definitely helped our own patrons more as far as being able to get rooms at the library. And that's the theme for summer reading, Level Up at your library. It's like a game thing this year.
How often do you revise the reading list?
I don't know, I think they do it like monthly, at least the departmental ones.
I like the quick,
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Don't think they do as much.
Any other
We don't
questions?
have them on Wednesday.
okay. Thank you. And moving on, open session. We'll now move to public comment. It will be limited to 30 minutes. We will now receive public comment. There is a meeting held in public. It's not a meeting of the public. It's the prerogative of the president of the board to recognize members of the audience. If you are recognized to address the board, you're asked to stand, identify yourself to address the whole board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Yeah, Julie?
I just wanted to say thank you guys again. I said it last year, too. Thank you for being willing to meet with me and hear my concerns. And I know I've talked before that there's a lot of other families who kind of feel similar about some of the things I've brought up. And this was their idea. I did not ask for this, but they do ask pretty regularly just how things are going. And so all the kids, well, not all, but some kids just wanted to say thank you guys for being willing to just hear our concerns and take them serious. So they made you a bunch of thank you cards that are really cute. So I hope it just blesses you to know that they appreciate, you guys can just, I don't know, there's a lot of them. But there's pictures and all different ages and all different things, but take them home, stick them on your fridge. Just know that you're appreciated, and we appreciate that you, just that you're willing to listen and to work with us. So, that's all.
Thank you. Okay. We have a closed session on the agenda for the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body. And so at this point in time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, and then we will go into session again and open in closed session. We will come out, go into regular session. I don't expect there to be any action taken at that time. So could I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, why don't we take a minute or two to stretch, and then everyone, great to have everybody here. Got a lot of things we're working on, and appreciate everybody's help.
So part this evening, we have
Thank you.
and some very promising possibilities out of executive session. That's what we're going to do.
And we've got staff all set for next year. All we have to do is work with our director. We can keep her on the road. Okay? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
I just want you to know I wore these in Europe.